More now than with previous generations, students and parents are questioning whether going to college is the right choice. Joining me is our friend, consultant and career coach, Lindsay Baccardo. Good morning.
Good morning, Tracy. How are you?
I'm fine. I know this, just the staggering student debt out there alone had people,
Yes.
parents of teens, rethinking that track. But I would imagine that in this current global pandemic situation, people are reprioritizing a lot of things and rethinking a lot of things.
That's exactly why we're talking about this, because as a generational researcher, this was already happening. This generation, Gen Zs, the parents of Gen Zs, which are typically Gen Xers, were thinking, I don't want you to have 40 grand worth of debt. That's the average amount of debt from going to college, which is more than a down payment on a house. And so there's already this idea kind of brewing, and we saw that trade schools were starting to increase enrollment. And then just like you said, the pandemic happened and people are going, I don't know if going to college is the best route for me to take right now. So that's why we're talking about it. And there's really 3 steps that you can take, 3 things you can ask yourself as you're trying to determine what to do.
So the first step is?
Follow your curiosity. So I see this with students all the time, high school students. We kind of get in our mind what would be a cool job to have. Like my roommate was in PR. I'm like, that is so cool. But then I actually saw like what she had to do, and she had to do all of this writing. None of the actual coursework sounded interesting to me at all. So I learned over time that instead of picking a major that sounds cool, to actually look at the classes you would have to take and see if the actual classes that get you there are even interesting to you. Because if you don't like learning about your major now, you're definitely not going to like it for the next 20, 30 years as you continue to grow in your career. So I really encourage students to follow their curiosity, to kind of get rid of the shoulds. I should be this, I have to do this, and think about what they're actually excited to learn about. That may be something different than going to traditional college.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Number 2.
The second one, is to shadow someone that you know that's in a field that you're interested in. This is obvious, but it's a push to get a teenager to do it. So Everyone, if you're like, I want to be a coder for a tech startup because that sounds cool, you might go shadow a coder and realize that their day-to-day behaviors, what they do actually for their job, is not very interesting to you. Oh, I sit all day? Yep. So it's really important that especially high schoolers, learn through experience, that they actually follow people that are doing work that they're interested in to see if that's what they want to do on a day-to-day basis. Just the title will not keep you interested.
Well, and if you don't mind, I'm going to take this one a half step further. You need to find somebody who's actually doing it. Don't take the perception of the job. My nephew, who I love dearly, sees certain jobs. Actually, I'll forget him as an example. Me, I watched a movie with Tom Hanks, and he was in advertising, and he was in Chicago, and he had a cool leather man bag in a Jeep, and he just got to spout creative ideas all day, and I thought, I totally want a career in advertising. Like, you need the reality of it, right? Not just your perception of it, but the reality.
That's exactly it. You just nailed it. That's exactly it.
Okay.
The third one is to look at, we have all different types of institutions, all different ways to learn. Find one that matches your values. Some are more research-based, some are liberal arts colleges, some are religious, there's public, private schools. Figure out what type of culture you want to be in. And really, because we're in a pandemic, we are seeing, this is true on companies, this is true in universities, that we're kind of seeing true colors right now, to see how people really treat each other in these environments. So this is a great chance to find a culture that you're excited about. I'm really excited about this next generation because I think that they can hear clearly this idea that traditional schooling is not the only way to do it. You do not have to go to college to have a well-paying job and to feel really good and proud of the work that you do. And really, ultimately, our career is a commitment to keep learning and to keep growing. So find something that excites you. Try not to get caught up in the title, like you said, or the perception of it. Find something that really gets you up in the morning, that gets you excited. That's what matters more than saying you went to a prestigious college.
I like that. And we have to stop shaming the trades. I have a friend who was a news photographer years ago. He quit to become a roofer, and he said his personal satisfaction and job satisfaction went through the, no pun intended, through the roof, because he was literally putting roofs over people's heads and was proud of what he was doing, and he was making more money than he was in the profession that he went to college for.
That's exactly right. If you were to Google right now the types of trades that are making a ton of money, you'd find plumber, electrician, HVAC, and welding. So none of those are like, hey, you know, it's hard to like feel really cool about it, but there is so much satisfaction at work. Those are solid jobs. You can make a ton of money and have a really happy life doing those.
I know a plumber in this town has a company. He could start somebody tomorrow at $40,000+, and you don't have to know anything about plumbing. It's while you learn. So,
exactly, you nailed it.
all right, we'll put your website on ours. Always great to talk to you.
You too.
My mom says hi. All right, we'll put that link on indystyle.tv. And now